Hello, welcome back to more furious driving, playing with the Volvo. And if there's one thing that always, and I mean always, gets comments every time I take this car out for a drive, it's this headlining. It's horrible, it's disgusting, and it rains orange dust every time I move the car anywhere. It is really unpleasant. It's probably not very healthy either. But yeah, it's been a long time coming, mostly because the package from Amazon took a month to arrive. But I've now got a big bag of headlining material, some cans of spray, and let's get this thing out. Oops. And fixed. And because this seat is still not bolted down, people get commenting about that as well. This is because the heating element is broken in it and I need to take this seat apart. There's so many projects with this car. But this seat being loose means I can probably get this headlining board out the back door. So let's give that a go today. But before we do, I just want to say a quick thank you to today's sponsor. Lately, when I'm finally fed up of battling rust and impossible bolts, I've taken to battling something I can actually win against: the undead hordes of Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is a free-to-play on mobile and PC campaign across the epic fantasy world of Teleria, a world of dark fantasy, elves, orcs and dragons, and stunningly realistic graphics. Collect an army of champions for your quest, where you can equip, train and upgrade. There are loads of incredibly detailed champions. Some are new ones by opening shards in the portal and fight enemies and level bosses in campaigns or the battle arena to gain XP, weapons and artifacts. Then head back to your bastion and go to the tavern, where you can upgrade your favourites and sacrifice the weaker ones. Brutal. Want to have a beer with this guy? I doubt he knows many jokes, but at least a drink could be chilled. Challenge yourself to your edge on the ongoing tournaments. Compete against the entire Raid community while fighting the Spider's Den, Ice Golem's Peak, the almighty Fire Knight and Notorious Dragon. Good luck with that. And now in Raid patch 1.15, coming in May, and with it you'll be able to compete in the brand new arena tournament. Earn points according to your tier and win awesome rewards in the local and global tournament. Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player you'll get 100,000 silver plus one free champion, Hexweaver. New players will find all the rewards in the inbox in the game, but those rewards are only available for 30 days. Right, now in theory, taking this off is actually quite easy, because all you need to do is peel back these little, or carefully remove this trim piece, undo the screws that hold these for grips up to the ceiling. That's a bit loose already. Undo the bolts that hold the visors up, take the mirror out, and the light, which just clips out anyway. Oh, and finally the trim piece at the back, and this thing should just fall out pretty much, and then I can manoeuvre it carefully. Oh, and that bit there as well. I'll figure it out as I go along. Let's cut to the time lapse and me trying to make this thing happen. 1 down, 3 to go. 1 down, yay! This thing I think just kind of unscrews. Oh, it does, haha. Oh, that is so annoying. All I was doing was teasing it back a tiny bit. I did the same thing on this side and it just flexed and it was fine. That one though, it's just 30 years of brittle plastic and that snapped. Really annoyed at that. So looking at it, these clips should stay in the ceiling and this thing should just slide straight in to them, but they're very, very tight indeed. And they are reluctant to give up, especially with all this black, oh, you're getting on the steering wheel now, black gooey stuff which is gluing it up there as well. That's a bit of a battle, I think. Whew. Well, I've just had a mad idea that if I just unclip this light, which just kind of slides forward and then drops out, I might actually just be able to drop this out and not undo these things which are really, really hard to undo, and just slide the whole thing forwards. I was wrong. And I've just made my life a lot harder. Oh no, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Damn, no, it's gonna break. Oh dear, I've just made a mistake. Damn, that was an error of judgment. At least it's free of the back thing though. Oh dear. Now, I wasn't convinced this was actually possible. A few people said, you can do it. You just put the seats right back and take it out the back door. And I thought, yeah, not a chance. But I've seen a video of someone doing it now. So, especially as I've got the front seat removed, I can push it right the way out the way. So in theory, I can just lift this roof panel out in one go now. So let's see how we get on. Badly, looking opposite to that. Oh, okay, that just fell off. And it's covered in glue. Oh great, it's glued to the ceiling. I want to say don't believe everything you see on the internet, because this is not possible. Oh God. Ow, snagged. Actually cracking. Oh God, that's not good noises. Just realised the one I saw it done on was left-hand drive, and I'm now hitting the steering wheel, so I need to do it the other side of the car. No, it's starting to crack. I can feel it starting to crack now. Brilliant. Okay, so the video I saw where someone easily just manoeuvred it out that door was clearly a dodgy bit of editing and a lie, because it just physically can't do it. And I was as careful as possible. In the end, the thing just broken off. So even though this is mega annoying, what I'll do is cover it as one piece, put some gaffer and stuff on the back to hold it together, and put it back in, fold it and unfold it into the roof, and hopefully that'll be okay. But first of all, get this old stuff off. Get an old nail brush, and does the trick. So this is the package I was waiting weeks and weeks for to arrive. Nothing but an apology from Amazon about the delay. Hopefully this, well, I can see it looks like the right colour. So I bought way more than I actually needed because I figured there'd be some wastage in this. Now which is this front of it? Oh, this is the textured side that looks like a car ceiling. God, I did buy way more than I needed. I could do a couple more cars with this. Not quite. That was the thing. It's not quite long enough in terms of width to do it, so I had to buy quite a long way in terms of length. So if I lay this on here, I can cut it off and save some for another day. So this stuff is actually quite thick. It's got a nice sort of factory looking textured fabric that you'll see on the ceiling. It's slightly off-white, obviously a grippy white backing on the background, and quite thick foam, so it looks, you know, nice sound deadening, good insulation properties, and hopefully it'll hide all the imperfections in the headlining board itself. My ground isn't very clean, so I'm going to do this in two parts. Oh, wow, that's interesting stuff. It's like silly string. God, this stuff smells worse than the fabric headlining. And pushing everything into the corners and the contours, that's taken the shape really well actually. Well, this has taken the shape really well. I just need to let it dry for a couple of hours so it's properly bonded on there, and I can cut out the holes for the light, for the screw holes, everything else like that, trim it around neatly on the edges, and then get it back in there. But I tell you what, this really smells like new Renaults. I wonder if it's the same product they're using them. Right, I'll get hoover the car right now so I don't get lots of orange stuff on it when I put it back in again, and then take a break because it's VE day, hence the flags, and we've got a street party coming. Well, a street party from a long way away from each other, so I'll come back to this in the morning. Well, this actually looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased with how this has come out. Now I just need to trim it around the edge carefully, and then also cut out little holes and things so I can put the screws and the light and that kind of stuff back in there. I'm trying to work out the best way to do this, probably to do it upside down on a clean sheet of something so I don't leave any marks. That fold from where it's packaged in the post for so long hasn't gone out, but hopefully it's gone back a bit because it's on thick foam. This is the thing, because even though this is cracked in the middle, this is really thick foam in the center core of this fabric. So that is hiding all the blemishes and all the creases. And I'm hoping as time goes by, a bit of heat, it's stretched out now, that will just vanish over time. Right, let's go and find a big cloth or a towel or something. Well, this actually is bonded very well indeed, and an old bed sheet seems to fit perfectly on the bonnet of a Volvo. So useful information if ever you're stranded and need somewhere to sleep for the night. Use an old Volvo. I hasten to add, this is an old sheet that now gets used for the dogs, not a new one. Otherwise I will be sleeping on the Volvo tonight. I actually can't puncture it, wow. Great, and now I think I've got all the holes I need in this thing. The scissors actually prove better than the knife because it's quite a tough material, and you're better off, if you're wanting fine control, having a bit of a snip rather than a bit of a stab. If it needs to be bigger than any of them, once it's in the car, I can trim them in play. Now, I'm not a psycho, but I do like a nice knife. They're very handy to have around, not for psychopathic purposes, just for everyday use. They're so handy. There was one unexpected and unfortunate side effect, if you like, of taking the headlining out last night, is that the grey goo started dripping. So I had to put this out. It did get a mark onto the fabric of the passenger seat. So I left it last night with paper over it, and I'm glad I did, because one more bit did drip on this bit of paper here. Luckily nothing else did. I'll have to go have a go at cleaning that up when I'm all done here. I spent a lot of time last night and this morning thinking about a couple of sort of big problems here. First of all, on these snapback caps, do you take the gold sticker off or leave it on? I always thought you leave it on, but then I thought, do you not? So I pondered it and pondered it, eventually decided to take the one off this cap, but I think maybe I regret that now. But I've got a nice gold sticker on my laptop though. These are still available if you email me, link in the description. I've got a couple of these left, not many now, they're going fast. So I might need to do another order with some child-sized ones because my son really wants one as well. So, who knows. Right, the other thing I was thinking about is, what if, instead of rolling the driver's seat backwards against the back passenger seat, if I rolled it really far forwards, that would make a bigger space, and had the front passenger seat pushed all the way forward at its base and then laid flat on its back. I might be able to squeeze this thing through this gap here more successfully. Because last night it just didn't have any room at all. It was catching on the frame of the roof of the car. It was, just didn't have room at all. It was catching on the seat. It was a disaster really. So yeah, I'm going to give that a whirl. Fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. Oh God. Oh, that's positive. Oh, that seems to be the trick. Partially in. It's in, but it did not enjoy it. Right, so the first thing I need to be doing is getting this up into the rear seat posts, or the seat posts. There's only really seat posts in the rear, aren't there? I managed finally to slide it over the top of the seat posts and get it to grip in the back bar, so it's held in place, and then ran to the front and put a single bolt into the mirror, so now it's held in place. Now, a big concern with this thing here is there's black goo all over it. It's horrible. And I'm really worried that I'm going to get it onto the new white headlining. So I've got a set of gloves here, so if I do get it on me, I can take it off, well, just bin the gloves and not carry on with it. It's going to take a bit of cleaning off the white as well when I'm done. They were very, very, I don't know, generous is the word, when they applied that back at the factory. Oh God, it's everywhere. Oh God, it's everywhere. To quote Peter Griffin. Oh, it's on the windscreen. Okay, it's in that corner. Okay, now don't forget to put the wires back for the light, otherwise you're going to have a bit of an issue shortly. Which way around do these go? There we go. Brilliant, so that will now hold the lining up. Well, once I've got the screws in it will. Okay, I just learned you need to clip it in the back first. I'd forgotten about that from taking it apart. Oh, careful, 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 because there's a clip on the front as well. Guess who didn't clip it underneath there? So many little clips to remember. Okay, so now can I learn all the lessons from the other side and remember to first put the clips in on the back? Oops. Definitely a two-handed job. Oops. Then put that in there. There we go. Now, I don't know what that horrible black goo is that's all up here, what it's made of exactly, but I can't clean it off the header rail that goes up here. So for the moment, I'm going to leave that off because it's just disgusting and I'm better off, frankly, without it. I'll put these back in here, bolt this on properly and live without it for the time being, because that's going to just be much more tidy than having a black gooey thing. So the problem I've got with this header rail is that this black goo is absolutely everywhere. I've tried wiping it with petrol and that sort of does a good job, but I think I need some brake cleaner and I'm all out of brake cleaner. So I'm going to leave the header rail off for the moment and come back to that when I've been able to go and buy some more cleaning fluid. Let's get this little thingy back in here. Bit of a finishing touch looking good there. Oh, you have to be so careful about getting your hands, or keeping your hands clean doing this. Any little mark on your hand goes straight on the white ceiling. Let's get the interior lights sorted. Oh, damn, this gooey stuff is horrible. Oh, fortunately, all the connectors are different sizes, so you can't really go too far wrong. And the wires have bent over the years into the right shapes. There we go. Right, let's put the visor on and we're nearly done. So wow, with the exception of that little header rail at the front because it's covered in black goo that I can't clean off, but I will get around to that very shortly. Oh, and a new A-post cover for the driver's side. This is now done. I mean, look at this, it's a massive, massive improvement. The car feels so much smarter, so much lighter. It's going to be just a nicer place to be in, frankly. This basically cost me £30 in material. 1 can of spray. I bought 3 cans thinking I was going to need loads, but barely made a dent in the 1 can I actually opened. That's about £4. So for £34 and a day of aggravation, frankly, I've now utterly transformed the interior of this car. So yeah, I think this has been a weekend well spent. I'm happy with this. A couple of little marks I've left on there. I keep noticing now that I'm actually in here, but I need to go and get some cleaning cloths and just wipe off. Because it's a big bit of fabric. You're not going to avoid getting dirty fingerprints on it when you're putting it in. And those crease marks down the centre are actually fading already. And where the crack is in the centre of the roof, that is virtually invisible as well. So all told, this is a pretty good result. I'm happy with this. The car looks 1,000 times better. Well, I would like to say this has not been an educational video. This has been a warning again about not trying to do this yourself. And if I was going to try and do this again on a saloon, I would definitely get the rear glass taken out because that is absolutely the way forward. This was a painful experience trying to do it without taking the rear window out. And bear in mind the rear window is actually delaminating. It was pretty stupid not to be fair. Never mind. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you want to consider becoming a channel member, that makes a huge difference as well. It means we can get more projects done more quickly. Thanks for watching and we'll see you again very soon.